Today, or rather tonight, it is almost 11 p.m. I am an early sleeper. I'm an old man. I sleep at like 11, wake up at 6. But so today we're going to be talking about how to find good deck lists. Basically, I think that's not the title of this video. How to find topping deck lists. They might not necessarily be good, but they're topping. That's maybe a more applicable thing to think. I'm sorry, I might say some stupid things. When I'm tired, my brain don't do the thing right. So, I'm gonna go over a list of places, websites, people that you can visit to check out to find where the best lists, the most consistent lists, the ones that high rolled the most, etc. are found. So, we're gonna begin very basic, very general. Obviously, the official site, both English and Japanese. This is something people forget. We're all aware of the English website, but you might not be aware that it has a really cool reboot. Basically, it looks so clean right now. Even for viewing deck lists, it all appears in a nice grid. It's so clean, so pretty, so worth a check out. So that's a lot of so's. But anyway, the English website always posts the topping deck lists, whether it's Springfest, the BCS, whatever. You'll always find them there. They will always cover every single English official result, so you won't miss out. It might come a bit late. It might be like 2 or 3 weeks after the event actually happens. Maybe 1 week if it's fast. Maybe a few days if it's even faster. But it will take a bit of time. But you'll find what you need there. And what's nice is that now you can even search for past. I mean, you could always search for previous deck lists, but they made it a bit easier by the selection of the categories. You can actually search for a specific time frame, specific deck, specific keywords and stuff like that, and actually find things in history if you want to. Let's say you're replaying an old 3DS game and you want to play whatever the best deck was in early G format or something, So you can do things like that. But I do need to note that the Japanese website does have a lot of decks. They not only cover the big results like the BSF, the BCF, or the WGPs, they also cover some of the smaller events, like the side events, the team events. They'll cover a lot of stuff there, and you can really find so much. It's Clan Leader tournaments. I'm not sure if they still cover them, but back in the day they did. And so there's so much to find there. There's honestly a lot of different deck lists to find just on the official websites alone. So navigating the Japanese one might be a bit hard. There's always a button for deck recipe, and then there'll be a button for tournament decks, and you'll always see the most recent ones pop up first, and it's quite easy to navigate in that sense, but you do need to know what you're actually doing. So if you need help, I basically just went over what you have to do. But yeah, so official websites are always going to be the place with the most, the official lists. It's the locations, what to expect. It's the English format, the one that's most applicable to us, and so that is definitely something you want to look for, but that's obviously the most obvious part of this. The not so clear part, and the part that, it's been growing lately, is Twitter. So Vanguard on Twitter has been growing lately. I've seen a lot of you, make accounts and check it out and, be more engaged in the discourse that happens on Twitter. But really, Twitter is the place for Vanguard. Facebook is good for discussions, but if you want to see ideas and decks and ideas just brewing, Twitter is really the place. Twitter has always been the place for Japan, and increasingly so, the French people have been using it a lot. Shout outs to Louis and Sora and all these people that the Mahuto brothers. They've been really using Twitter to show off their deck lists, and not even just their own, also just the ones that are topping in their locals or in their testing circles. And so them featuring that is really huge. And I've seen American players featuring this, and just a lot of different players have been using Twitter, and I think it should be increasing more and more and more. We should all be sharing our ideas on Twitter because it's such a great platform for Vanguard. Now, to say more specific sources for Twitter, first is Double Crit, or the 2 Crit blog. He has a Twitter. I'll put the link, the @ to his Twitter on here, and you'll often see that he does these kind of wrap-ups of shop tournaments. He'll do the usage of different clans or decks in a certain week of locals, and you'll just kind of wrap that up, show off some lists that are worth attention. Not everything obviously, but he will feature quite a lot, and you'll find a lot of the results through just that blog on its own, so it is worth to give that a follow. Next up is Can You Say G. Can You Say G is a dear friend of mine, and he combines not only the the Japanese side of things, but also the Western side. He'll feature both the deck lists by retweeting them from all the big Japanese tournaments, but he's also going to feature a lot of the Western ones by tweeting them out himself, whether it's from America or from Brazil or from Europe, from wherever it may be, he's going to be featuring them most of the time. And so if you want to see literally everything that goes under, especially early, before the official website puts them up, or if you want to see VGCS lists that don't go up on the official website, you're going to find them on Can You CG's Twitter, and he shares his blog posts there too. They're very insightful, they're always worth a read, so you should definitely be checking him out. He's by far probably your most valuable follow on Twitter, apart from the official Vanguard account. Now, there's still two more that we can talk about. One of them is Dexander. You know, we've been using his charts for quite a while now for the meta-analyses, and so Dexander is a really important resource too, because he summarizes some of the bigger events with more players in his charts, and so he puts up all his sources. He lists the tournaments that he takes the decks from and puts them into his charts, and so you can always confirm, you can always check which deck list it actually is that goes into those statistics, and that's a really big part of it. So if you need deck lists through that, Dexander, you know, both on his Twitter and on his blog, great place to find more deck lists. Now, another thing with Twitter is hashtags, and so there's two different hashtags you can use. There's the Japanese Vanguard one, which is something, but it doesn't really, it's very general. Then there's CF_Vanguard, or like just CF Vanguard, which will be a bit more general too. It's not always going to be deck list. But basically, if you want just like one specific hashtag to find just the topping list and nothing else, especially in the Japanese format, there's a hashtag called Vanguard優勝デッキ. So it's literally just Vanguard winning decks. So you'll see like shops, individual card shops posting the lists that win their shop tournaments. You'll see players that post up their winning list as well. Sometimes they won't always post it up on there. Sometimes they'll just like tag it as like VGCS, which is like the Vanguard Championship. You know, like the unofficial tournaments kind of thing. So like usually run by players or by teams of their own. And so they'll often post it under those tags too, so it's worth to give that a look. So just type in VGCS on Twitter and you'll often find a lot of stuff. Not to be confused with VGC in Pokemon, that's a different thing. And then finally, I mean, this is kind of like a last resort. If you really, you know, need anything else, just follow me, I guess. Because like for me, I don't retweet every list, but I do usually like post up or retweet the interesting ones or the unique ones or the ones that I feel are very prominent. Obviously, if I've seen like the 73rd like Aza list this week, I'm not gonna retweet it, or like, you know, Bermuda list in standard. But if I see something interesting, or like the first list, you know, for something like Royals after the next set, or like, you know, something like that, obviously I will be retweeting it and like having people see it and share it. So I think it's important for that reason. And if you ever top a tournament, like especially a bigger one, and you want your list to be shared, you can always just @ me on Twitter and I'll most likely retweet it, because I know that you're just sharing your deck list and I want to show that off, even if it's just, you know, your bog standard Bermuda or something. So it's just the kind of thing I do. So if you're really like lost and don't know what to do, or just want more data, then hey, there's me. But I retweet and post a lot of like random memes and just random rants and stuff. So be prepared for that too. I'm not good at like keeping things to myself in that sense. And so that's basically it. I think I've wrapped up everywhere, like the most important places to find deck lists. Another thing I think for the, oh my god, I need to stop recording and just sleep. But another place you can find lists actually is on the ARG website for America itself. It's a bit hard to navigate, even for me. It's like sometimes I just don't find what I'm looking for, but they do post up the lists there in terms of what tops the ARGs. Obviously, you know, it depends on the size of how credible they are or not. And so, but you know, you will find some lists from ARGs. I used to use the ARG website back when I did like competitive wrap-ups and stuff. So I think it's important to check on there too. And so that's just something to take away as well. So I think the main takeaways from here are official websites, both English and Japanese, Twitter, especially blogs like the 2Crit blog and Can You Say G's Twitter, and then the hashtag like Vanguard優勝デッキand stuff like, you know, Dexander's blog, and then, you know, if anything, there's ARG, and then there's me. So that's just an overview of where you can find lists, where you can find results. I've seen this question over and over and over again, where people ask like, oh, where did you find this topping list? Oh, I've seen this like, you know, breakdown of the meta, but where did these lists come from? Like where do I find this like one Dark Irregulars that topped, you know, or like one random Pale Moon that topped? It's like, it's all in there. It always comes from somewhere. People don't often include like decks into statistics if there isn't a list, or like if there isn't some kind of proof that it topped. And you know, either it's going to be on the official website or it's going to be on Facebook. That's your worst case scenario, that somebody posts up their list just on Facebook and doesn't share it anywhere else. Going to be a bit harder to find in that case, but other than that, it's going to be pretty easy most of the time. So as long as you have this knowledge to find the list and know where to look, you're usually going to find something that you want to see. So that's going to be it for me today. I am going to go hit the hay, or the stacks. No, I'm sleep. I am going to rest. I am going to let my brain recover. So more videos to record tomorrow. Yay! Good night. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.